All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. Money is human happiness in the abstract. He then, who is no longer capable of enjoying human happiness in the concrete, devotes himself utterly to money. The first 40 years of life give us the text. The next 30 supply the commentary on it. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. There is no doubt that life is given us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Suffering by nature or chance never seems so painful as suffering inflicted on us by the arbitrary will of another. Reading is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. Journalists are like dogs. Whenever anything moves, they begin to bark. Honor means that a man is not exceptional, fame, that he is. Fame is something which must be won, honor, only something which must not be lost. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. If we were not all so interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Compassion is the basis of morality. Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. After your death you will be what you were before your birth. Satisfaction consists in freedom from pain, which is the positive element of life. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. The alchemists in their search for gold discovered many other things of greater value. The wise have always said the same things, and fools, who are the majority, have always done just the opposite. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance things present and which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. A man's face as a rule says more and more interesting things than his mouth, for it is a compendium of everything his mouth will ever say, in that it is the monogram of all this man's thoughts and aspirations. To live alone is the fate of all great souls. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in it death, and the higher the rate of interest, and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. It is only a man's own fundamental thoughts that have truth and life in them. For it is these that he really and completely understands. To read the thoughts of others is like taking the remains of someone else's meal, like putting on the discarded clothes of a stranger. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other.